What is up? This is Dane, Market Scalper D. Huge gap up on the SPY ETF, S&P 500. How many times have we been trapped in contracts, right? If you were bullish and expecting some market mechanics to have hedged the market pre-market or over the weekend and regarding market makers and some of the economic news going on this week, you know, you got your bag and you're in the money, right? If you're holding positions, how many times have we seen this start to work its way all the way back down there to the closing price? You know, there's a potential for this thing to come back and retest these levels. But for right now, I mean, you can see there's some heavy resistance up there at 739. And then, of course, right back up there at 741. Some big resistance. And let's see where this goes. But let's check out another way that you can expose yourself to the S&P 500. And you could just get your money right now. Even if you were late to the party, you could have positioned yourself here at 3 o'clock in the morning and been out. This is going to consider people who have a little bit more capital to trade the markets. But let's look at how many times right here. Whoops, this is not working. There we go. So how many times have we been in the money, right? All these contracts are going to be in the money right now, but you just can't sell them. And then the market opens, and guess what? You're stuck holding the bag at break even, or even worse, negative. So here's how you do this. You can go to the SPX, which is 10 times the exposure of the S&P 500. You can see, man, these guys are already deep in the money. There's your previous day's closing price. Look how they get you. Right back where you started, and even worse, negative. Boom. Now, here's the great part. You can see, man, this is a good indicator that they want you out. If you're holding some contracts and you're a bullish starting here, they've already made their bags from here to here. But if you're holding, especially from here to here, they got you out right there, right? That's a good indicator I've seen many a times where the market has a potential to 100% gap up on market mechanics. Are funds who are trapped on the bearish side. But in general, they want you out from here to here. So that will knock your stop position. You know, if you're using a tight stop loss, you already got knocked out. But let's look at some of the gains that people are making right now that had enough courage to hold calls over the weekend. This is the kind of potential that you can make when you have a little bit more capital and you're 10 times the exposure of these contracts. You can see right here at 3 o'clock in the morning, this contract on the bull side was 4,200. And while everyone's sleeping, man, you're getting paid. You're making money. Everyone's waiting for a paycheck. They're waking up right here, getting coffee, and you've already made your bag, right? So you've invested 4,200 on SPX, and now you're selling right there at 7 o'clock in the morning for 6,200. Now you can see here we're getting a little bit of resistance, right? This is the point where now you're down to 5,200. So that's a big chunk of profit there, right? Almost up 6 grand. A little bit of a shakeout right there, 5,200. But just want to let you know you can trade these contracts until 9:25 a.m. So from 9:25, when all the shenanigans get ready to happen, and you might possibly lose a crap ton of money if it starts to retest those previous day's closing prices right before the bell opens. But you can see here what a great way to make money and make your paycheck before everyone gets ready to go to work. So right there you can see you invested 4,100 or 4,200 or so up to the 6,295 level. So you cleared almost $2,000 before you could even get your coffee and your cream together. So yeah, what a cool way to make money and get rid of some of these contracts and dump them before you can potentially lose some profits. Hope this video helps. What an exciting week we're up against. A lot of economic news coming out that's going to affect the market, and I'll be throwing out some more updates. and some more areas of the market you can make money, especially regarding the option chains. And let's see what's going to happen. Let's see if they retest this level. You know, this contract's got the potential to make it back to $9,000. So, but they are expiring today, and most of the time, I would believe around 90 to 95% of these contracts expire to zero, right? So maybe there'll be some quick moves to the downside, and some of these contracts that are on the bearish side are gonna be freaking cheap, man. We're talking like, oh god, they just been crushing them, guys. If you're holding contracts on the S&P 500 and you're bearish, you're gonna wake up holding a big bag of monkey turds, because right now that contract was 5,700. At 1 o'clock in the morning, someone's value of that contract was 1,400. So you can see they're just bleeding them out and just destroying the bearish thesis. So, but yeah, check out this little trade right here. 8:30 in the morning, you could have bought this put 5,900 and sold it right there, almost for about what, $700. So you're just scalping $220. You've already made your day's work in what, 10 minutes, and you're done. Go back to bed. Go back to bed. Because I don't know about you and me, but that is a really great way to learn how to scalp the market. Just watching these contracts, which you can trade in the middle of the night while everyone's sleeping. You're making some money, right? Look at all these different scenarios. 1,100. You're making what, 1,340? But you really got to be careful, right? You don't want to get trapped. This is going to just tap all of your mental stop losses, and you really need to get rid of these things and pass that grenade along, even if you're busting out a 5-minute trade. That's the way you do it, man. You can make a living doing it, and wish you guys the best. Don't be holding bags. Take care.